Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday, January 11th. It's 11:11 a.m. and we're starting the 28th episode, season 2, at the Truth Table. Today we're gonna talk about preparing mankind with tempered reason. And that's what we're doing. We're doing this for the next couple of months. We're going to be talking about solutions, remedies, foods to eat. For example, in 2020, mankind was very low on manganese, magnesium, and silica. And this anterior harm has been done by all the toxins. And in 2020, everyone was low because the glyphosate allowed the spike proteins access to the blood-brain barrier, allowing toxins a direct path to the anterior horn. So we need the manganese, we need the magnesium and silica for our own protection. And these are the types of things that we are going to cover because we do care about our fellow man. Whether you're good or bad, it doesn't matter. You're still a divine soul on a path with a purpose. And hopefully we can help you find your purpose and find your path. And we're going to start with my guest, Kay Paterson, right after this. And there's so many paths and so many roads that we could go down. We could fall down 1,000 rabbit holes, but we're not gonna. We're gonna try to make that 100 instead of 1,000. I mean, the Big Bang Theory. We could talk about that. We could talk about the man on the moon. We could talk about depopulation. We could talk about our efforts to stop the white genocide. I mean, there are so many rabbit holes. And one of my rabbit hole sisters is Kay Paterson. Welcome to the Truth Table.
Thank you. My real name actually is Kay Sayer. Paterson is my mom's maiden name. I hid on Facebook. This is my multiple accounts because Facebook keeps taking me out, and I hid under this name. So people, my family that thinks I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I'm able to publicly speak. Like I started making these little videos, little bit by little bit, to come out. And, yeah, so Sayer is my dad, who I'm named after. Kay Sayer, Kathleen Paterson is
Oh,
my mom, who I love more than anything. And this is I don't know how many accounts I've had.
well, I'm going to call you Kay today
Kay, that's all I like share, and
because it's very simple. It's not so complex
and
and
that's all I
and
like to be
and
called is just Kay.
daunting.
Kay is perfect. That's what I love. And I'm at Heaven's Gate, and there's a horse named Kay here. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
Huh.
wow, my whole life I was looking for toothbrushes and keychains. I could never find just Kay. And lo and behold, I'm here at Heaven's Gate, and there's a horse named Kay, and I couldn't be in a better place.
Now we are going to talk about the snake shedding its skin.
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing is, they're so highly intelligent that they were able to make the truth make you seem crazy. You know,
Yeah.
and they conspiracy theory, like that's a weaponized term, like flat earther. That's our tinfoil hat or
Yeah.
anti-vaxxer. These are all weaponized terms
Yeah.
and to silence dissent. And you know, the fact that the government is doing it makes them unfit to govern. Like a parent would be unfit to govern their family if they, you know, used reverse psychology and manipulated and abuse psychologically abuse their children. It's just as bad. But we can see it out in the open. We've got their number now. You've got
Yeah.
all the numbers.
I have
You've
every number I can find.
you've dug into the HST, for example,
Yeah.
and all the where the money is going, and so your research is very deep and embedded into, you know, the actual numbers and the, you know, the details of the numbers, which would serve us in a courtroom. You know, like it's the information needed required to show the evidence of wrong, you know, theft and
The money laundering and the
money laundering.
trafficking and the cartels and
Oh my God,
crimes
yes.
which are that constantly keep silencing us. Yes.
But
Yeah.
the snake, who is the head of the snake? Who is the head of the snake?
Brown.
The banking cartel,
The
the banking system.
Yes, the major family, the Medici,
The
the
yeah,
magic family that
the
is centralized.
Rothschilds.
Well, they spawned off of this original. I have all the work of who did what, and they gave all of their money. They gave money to popes and kings,
Hmm.
everything in the very beginning. This magic
And
family.
we've seen them expressing their power or
Mhm.
exercising. And with JFK, made the usury free note, the $5 bill. He was dead within 6 months after issuing the interest free note. And this who else did it? Gaddafi in Libya, Saddam Hussein in Iraq, Adolf Hitler in Germany, Putin in Russia.
Mhm.
So these are all the bad guys are the good guys. Good are bad, and bad is good.
Well, it's funny that you say because Hitler didn't get into art school, and I look at when I first woke up, I was like, "What? Everyone always wants to go back and kill Hitler all the time. If I could go back in time, everyone wants to take that day." And I'm like, he didn't get into art school. Just let him into art school, and then think about how different his whole life path would have been. Why don't we all go back and save Jesus? Pick a day, go back and save Jesus instead of because each world leader, when I looked into Spain, Italy, like all of them, it was a cruise boat singer, a male model, a soccer player, a poet, a painter. I'm like, none of these people have any sort of anything education to run a country. So therefore, it was pretty easy to see that they were actors.
So Anthony says that you have an echo. So let me try my headphones and see. Let me know if this fixes it. There we go. All right, this is my effort. Now let me know if her echo
Echoing,
is
echo,
fixed.
echo,
I
echo.
don't hear the echo.
I was actually hearing the echo myself there, and thank you.
Yeah, I don't have an echo at all. I can hear you good. Let me just turn up this here. So the remainder of the podcast today, we're going to sing instead of.
No one wants to hear that. My kids say it sounds like dead cats. No one wants to hear that. I'll sing the truth. I'm ready. This is my first time, Paul. Again, my gratitude beyond you, because I've made hundreds of videos just on my own, just to be able to publicly speak, because publicly speaking, and me, since I wasn't even able to talk in front of a group of small kids without getting my heart going crazy. So this is a gift. I thank you so much, and anyone that even sticks in and listens to me, my gratitude, my ever loving gratitude.
So the echo is gone. So it looks like I'm going to have to start wearing headphones in my podcast. And these headphones have been through the hell and back. Oh, that's weird. I've only got one side going on here. Let me see if I can't. There we go. So, you've given a lot of information in the comments. I think they are in.
Which I also got banned from giving there. I got stopped. I had some really good memes. I was truth bombing with some really good ones, and it wouldn't let me.
It could be a limit.
Yeah, well,
that's all that is.
Now we're limited on Facebook. They limit our comments now. Even greater to how our social media has been taken from us. Right?
I think it's because you left a short book.
I'm like, here's all my truth. Read it, take it.
Truth bomb. Truth bomb.
Yeah, I love spam, and we call it a spam. I'm like, well, that's not the original post. Mine's just the comments. Yeah.
So the snake is revealing itself. The veil is lifting, and it's going to be hard for a lot of people. But we want to prepare mankind with measured reason. That's the name of the show, and that's what we want to do. We don't want to overwhelm you, but it is overwhelming for me, and probably for you as well, Kay.
I've accepted it. I keep looking at it, because God woke me up nice and slow and gave my nervous system the time and energy to do it nice and slowly, to be this voice. Because when my awakening was pretty extreme, because I didn't wake with God, I was severed. I was a sheep. I was a part of the matrix. I was in very deep. And at the beginning of COVID, when it came, is when my spiritual awakening came. Call it a rapture, call it whatever anyone wants, because it's personal to each and every person, their connection and their feelings with God, right? And when what happened to me when I came back, when I went to Ottawa, I had taken 2 shots. I took 2 shots. And I didn't do it for a job. I didn't do it for any of those reasons. I did it for love. I did it to be accepted around everyone that I loved more than anything. And for some reason, I kept thinking it was my fault that everyone was still doing what they were doing. It was because I wasn't getting the shot, and whatnot. And everything that happened, and I was the only awakened person in all the little bubbles that everyone had. I kept asking, like, guys, we can still get it. We can still give it. I didn't make any sense to me at all. And when I went to Ottawa, and it hit me like a brick, like a ton of bricks, just whack, and then fear, of course, came at me, because I just, after I figured everything out, I was like, wow. And then lo and behold, I ended up watching one of those videos where athletes were just dropping like flies. It was that, I don't know if anyone else has seen that video, but everyone just just. And then that's when I took a couple of steps outside, because it was in my kids, and I dropped in fear, pure fear. And and God, I dropped. My heart went, everything inside me, I went black. And that's when I had my awakening. That's when God came to me. I died. I dropped on my, I went outside and I died. And I was with God. I was with spirit. I was in source. I was in energy. And it was like all of eternity and all of time and all of everything. And God literally took me and was like, kid, I got a plan for you. I'm not done with you. This is what you're here for. And this is what you lived your life for. And picked me back up. And I spent the day in hospital, and it was crazy, because ambulance came, and that's when I was like, wow. I really was like, couldn't speak or tell him, because I was like, wow, I know this much stuff, and I'm watching all of this happen in front of me at the hospital, and how the hospital, what was happening, listening to a young girl yelling and screaming at her mom because she was being locked in her house with cameras and videos and not being able to go outside. And I knew I was there for all of the reasons that I was there, that God put me there to be the slumdog millionaire that I am now.
Yeah, like Amanda made a comment about the HST. What about the money gained from lottery sales in Canada? Yeah, they make so much money off that through
Like
taxes.
it's between licenses and everything. So um where to start? I'm just showing people the revenue, that the way that the government makes all, like, it's ridiculous how much money we do have. And I've made multiple videos of how and what and how our money is run, who has it and who's allowed to touch it, and who isn't. We don't get to vote. There's no vote. There's no voting.
No.
No real democracy. And how there isn't a piece of paper when Sir, if you look at that, Sir, he came as an from the crown, pledged his allegiance to that, to not work. He's not working for us. It's a business. Canada's a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's a corporation. That's why we're called corpses. We
Mm-hmm.
go to work to earn a living. We die. We end up in an urn. We weekdays make us weak. All of the spells that the English language has put upon us.
Yes, that's true.
So
And
where to start? Because Angel really help, was trying to help me with a focus, because my goal and my life that I living with 911 for all of my life, and the people that around me that I knew, when I used to hug my ex-husband's car all the time. I used to pray and hold it all the time as he went into the city, into the depths of hell. That I used to pray all the time for the answers. And
mm-hmm.
God gave me the answers with the 911 service that I've been a part of and know so much about. I am an XR. I work for police with RCMP as well. So knowing where the drugs come from, the human I understand it all. And God, I know everything. And wanting to be able to relay this to everybody without scaring anybody, to help everyone wake up nice and slowly, to help wake up the grid, to have real-time government spending. And I want everyone to want real-time government spending, because we haven't seen a budget. No one's seen any budgets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have the way. And I don't know where to start at the very beginning. You wanted to talk about magnesiums and health things, which I have loved my whole life. And before politics and before anything, I would never be outside. I had the dirtiest feet anyone's ever seen, and foraging and learning about plants and everything was my life prior to waking and finding out and doing the government's taxes and finding out all of your taxes are in thin air and space. So I don't know. I love that you want to do this organically to show where to start. People, I'm on the spot here, and I have a lot of energies coming towards me right now, with a lot of questions and a lot of answers. What I would love every person to think about is that coast to coast in all of Canada, we are only allowed, as a nation, we only have 338 votes that we're allowed to vote for. So, and I really want to concentrate on the four major parts: is the nurses, the paramedics, the police, and the fire department. So these are the breadwinners. These are the people. They are the heartbeats. They are the heroes. They are the ones that who's coming to save them. And they've been kept. Their unions are all different. It's one massive service with one phone number, and it's to show and help them, because they're voting all the time and they're going to work, and there's incredible people, and they work shift work. that's meant to break their minds, bodies, and spirits, so they
Mm-hmm.
can't wake up, or and they rely on it. They're hoping that their money's going where they think that it's going, and meanwhile they're giving it to the 1%, and the 1% is their modern day lords and ladies. They're the rich kids that have been inheriting everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I really want to show. I had such a great speech prepared, and now I'm feeling on the spot. I really, because I want to hopefully help connect each person to know what I know, but to know how I know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, we
um
want to empower people.
to empower everyone. So I want to help the nurses, because there isn't one politician on this planet that has ever deserved more money than a nurse. And doctors, as everyone knows, what's happened with COVID is nothing more than pharmaceutical representatives in white lab coats that write prescriptions for drugs that are not helping anyone. Like, when do you see antidepressants starting to work after you've been on them for 10 years? Like, they're just creating, making people depend on a system that, when really, when you were talking about magnesium, it makes my heart so happy. It's responsible for 300 chemical reactions within inside the human body, and slowly depleting it. It's not in our food sources anymore. It's not
Yeah,
anymore. And
yeah,
so people that can't sleep, your body can't produce this beautiful thing. We can't produce melatonin without magnesium. So
yeah.
now we've got melatonin supplements and everything. And kids with anxiety and depression, meanwhile, if we just went outside and consumed magnesium, everyone's social anxieties, every sort of depression, every sort of, I think, could be
Yeah.
really truly instantly healed, and pharmaceutical companies would be oblique, right?
And they will be,
They would.
because it's a crime of the century. It's
It
what
is.
they've done
There
for
is.
profit. Even the government lowering the daily requirements of vitamins to
Well,
substandard levels that it
going
do
into every
nothing to
fast
you.
food chain restaurant, all you see
Oh,
is calories, and no, where I'm like, where's the vitamins and the mineral contents? It's just
mm-hmm.
calorie numbers that people
Yep.
are counting, that Slim Fast or whatever Oprah's doing next to say how many calories you need in a day.
It gives you the illusion that they care.
Yeah, yeah, because they have
That's
to
what it is,
give us the
because they have
calories.
standard. Yeah.
Can you show us the vitamins? Can you show us the minerals?
Yeah.
Can you show us what's gonna, yeah, what makes our bodies these beautiful temples,
Yeah. But
Ferraris run the way?
we have to raise the daily standard for all these vitamins, B12s and like all the Bs and magnesium, and make sure that they get in the body. They made vitamins so they just go through your body. They don't even get distributed properly. They've done everything wrong. Everything they touched.
Yeah, to just attack, like, yeah, and get us dependent on the grocery stores
Yep.
and of frozen pizzas and frozen everything. And when you go into a grocery store and you see how big it is, where's all of the shining lights to all of the actual ingredients? It's
Hmm.
food, is the fruits, the vegetables, like, then all of the other aisles are just boxed and packaged and got gosh knows what in it, right?
13 letter were ingredients
Yeah,
that
look at, there's
nobody knows.
cleaning products and wall cleaner in almost everyone's cereals, you
It's
know?
very dark, it's a very dark thing. I
Yeah.
mean, when you make something, you can list the ingredients and it's all food. It's, chicken and rice and potatoes, or, whatever you're cooking, it's really easy to lay out what's in it,
Hmm.
in the ingredients, and all these
And
all
look at our
these
school system. Doesn't Most inner city
yeah.
schools, most children can't identify a tomato.
But this is fascism. This is when corporations and governments work together.
Yes.
This is what you end up with. They
Yes.
want a weak society to keep the ball spinning. They want you addicted to lottery tickets, so they get that weekly bump.
Yes.
And then they have the black budgets. That they don't tell us about. We're a rich country. We could have an absolute amazing
We are.
lifestyle.
It's
We're
crazy how
rich.
we are. The second the 1% is cut off of this country, the
Yeah.
second it's done, that we, the people, demand real-time government spending in the palm of our hand. And
Yep.
it is so easy to do, to wake
Yeah.
up the grid and to wake up everyone slowly, because my biggest, if
Hmm.
you call, not so SOS, when I talk to a lawyer, when these devices are every single person's phone that comes in, SOS has to be accessible even on a locked phone.
So that right there has to show you something. You're like, hey, SOS, save our souls on a locked phone. What? We can call a drunk driver. And so to think about the fact that each one of us has the power to demand that the government show us real-time government spending. There's so many different things to call in for. I have the list is off of the charts, between the money laundering, between absolutely everything that we haven't voted for. Watching all the mayors at the beginning of COVID get given these gifts from the crown that no one voted for, and still telling us all at the bottom, well, talk to your MP, and they're like giving away the most precious lands and putting in dumps and putting in sites, and Brookfield having its towers and battery packs everywhere. And we're like, we didn't vote for any of this. We didn't. Hey, where's the democracy? So if everyone cared, we're like, hey, government, we're not appreciating the fact that we're only allowed to vote for 338 people. Yet, how can we pay 350,000 people? How can we pay 350,000 people our taxes, not even knowing where our taxes are going? It goes to this country, that country, and foreign aid over here, and this over here. I have crazy accounts and everything everywhere. If everyone thinks that the child daycares they're just the tip of the iceberg where all of our money's being laundered and going. So we're like, hey, we would like to see real-time government spending. Because if the government if we can pay and see on our phone when our bank account, and I can send money to you and you can send money to you, and Krista Freeland can freeze everyone's bank accounts no matter what country you're in. If you stood against the government, you're like, well, you can freeze everyone's account and it's an email account. That's weird. How about we see the government spending? We turn digital ID that's coming at us like a hurricane right now, and we say no. You say no, we don't want this. So to wake up the grid, we need operators. And so for each person to demand each and every account of any sort of crime against humanity and report it with your voice. And you'll vote to demand that our system that we run, we work, it works for us the people. That we're like, I don't like this. Like to see that Klaus Schwab had said we had penetrated the cabinets. Okay. So our Governor General, which I identify as the governor,
they're messing with you. You're going to have to leave and come back because your voice is cracking up. Did anybody hear that too? Yeah, it is. But we'll get you to leave and come back. That usually fixes it. But that's okay. I'm not giving up. You know me.
I know.
And until...
I guess I was living in a little bit of fear that I was getting off topic or I wasn't reaching people or...
No, you're not cracking anymore. Wait a minute. You stopped cracking.
I stopped cracking? So...
Unbelievable.
Here's a little point for everyone to just really think to themselves and look that if anyone didn't know anyone that went to Ottawa or know anything what happened in Ottawa, but what happened in Ottawa was the biggest crime, the government declared war on its own people.
Yes.
For standing up against tyranny. So, and the tyranny came because the amount of people that I know, and when the videos and everything came out, when Klaus Schwab said he'd penetrated our cabinets, that's full treason right there. And he named Trudeau, and he named that he'd gone through our cabinets. So going through Freeland, and Freeland I've gone through with a fine-tooth comb. She's been the minister and held the key to almost every cabinet that there is. So you're like, wow, and her parents are Ukrainian refugees that Canadians have paid for her parents to come here, and who her grandfather is. And to know what we know, and we're like, well, hey, the Governor General's job is to remove the Prime Minister. So when the convoy hit and showed up to call out the Prime Minister to come and speak with the people, for the people, that's his job, to represent us. We're like, hey, help us, you know? That Prime Minister should have been removed with the sheer evidence that Klaus Schwab had said I'd penetrated your cabinets. Yet, here's the thing. So our governor, we're like, how come the governor didn't do that? Well, how did the governor get her job? And she gets her job only and solely because the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, he's the one that gave her the job. He said, hey, Crown, I think you should use her. And that's how this woman got her unelected position to govern Canada. And you're like, what? And her job is to remove what? That's a snake. You want to talk about a snake shedding, snake biting its tail? Is this one? Because the governor She then puts into place King's Privy, which is 150 billion. They're the richest people, and also old people that used anyone that's ever been in Parliament, and a part of it. I named them the list. I'll actually, if I can actually get to post that, that'd be wonderful, if it'd allow me to. So we've got King's Privy, and then they take 263 million of our tax dollars. I'm like, I didn't know we pay King's Privy our taxes. What? We pay the owner of Loblaws taxes, yet we go to buy our groceries. What?
Yeah, but a lot of your information is on your profile. So if anybody
Yes.
wants to
Yes.
dig in, just she's tagged on my on this show. So you just click on her and add her as a friend. And thank you, Amanda, for joining us, and Anthony,
Oh, there's
who I want to get on my show
wonderful.
because he's got a story himself as well as a whistleblower.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I meet the most amazing people that have really suffered, in this, and have really been traumatized over the last 5 years, and we're certainly post event now. But yeah, if anybody wants to get some information, just click on her profile.
I have
That's
been taken to a
tagged.
institution against my will, thanks to Canadian rights. I have called and reported treason, and I believe that's why I was taken. I am the research queen of queens. I went out to Dresden, where I've done an extraordinary amount of information and everything, and I have called and reported treason. I did it on a landline. It was really liberating when I did it that day. It was wonderful. And when I did that, I knew then that's when I was really extra targeted for speaking against and doing what I want to do to help rebirth the government for everyone, so that everyone can have transparency and to see the what our government's doing to us. The population agenda for 2050 that's coming, right? That the world, the WHO and World Economic Forum and the foreign infiltration has upon us. I was taken by 3 police officers. They came at me at different directions. Thanks to the government laws and everything that's happening, police can just take you for your thoughts. And that's what happened to me. And I was taken to a hospital, drugged, and taken to a mental institution. And I'm out on a day pass. I'm out on a week. Mm-hmm. I got out on a pass with my twin brother. Ended up getting the rights to me from my mom. And that was a work and a half while I was in there. And all the while I'm screaming Nuremberg code at them. And while I'm in there, I'm like, your thoughts are too crazy. And I'm like, because you're talking, and they're like, we've been talking to your mom. And I'm like, talking to my mom about my thoughts? And that kept me in there even harder. So they're like, and I'm like, no, Nuremberg. And they wouldn't I was only supposed to be in there on a 72-hour pass. And no, I don't even know the time because the drugs are so horrific. The drugs are so bad. The drugs are so bad. Yep. And I would have rather have been taken to jail or to a court to fight instead of something that I wasn't allowed to, thanks to the government laws. Just to and lock me away and put me in a tower and not allow me out.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happened to Anthony. He was falsely accused and his life was taken from him. Everything he had worked for. And he had an amazing job. He's an amazing man. He met a lot of amazing people. He has an amazing story, and it's unbelievable what he's going through right now. But if you are a queen, if I married you, would I be a king?
Jesus is king.
Oh, okay.
Jesus is king. Jesus is king. We're all kings and queens here. God, when Jesus said you will have greater powers than me, that was for the last couple of months. It was really hitting my nervous system that I couldn't believe when you really follow him. So when anyone talks about religions or anything like that, and I don't identify as any religion or anything.
No,
I follow Jesus. I followed him to God, and that's how I thought.
And to me, I respect. I see him as the Word. The Father, the Word, and the Holy Spirit. I see it that way, and so his word is what's important, and words have been weaponized, as we've shown already. Yeah. That's why words are so important, because they really can have a spiritual repercussions.
Just look at the language and everyone after each other for there, and there, or two, and two, or which is which.
So what, Anthony? I can't wait to have you on the show, Anthony. He does a regular show.
Wonderful.
If you see his comments, click on his profile,
I will look
and he's
for it.
got a ton of YouTube videos. And he's doing his part. We're all doing our part.
Every
So
person is a raindrop
Rosenhan,
into the waterfall.
Rosenhan Experiment Defense. They try to take you in. So I'm not sure if this is a case that has been through the court or something. You're gonna have to copy that. See what I can find. Where was I? Words, weaponizing words. The Rothschild controlled the Federal Reserve and the Bank of England since the 17th century.
Carney has his finger on three when he has three citizenships because he was the governor of the bank before he left to get his others, and then he became the governor of those banks. His brother Sean, he works at Kensington Palace with, hello, King Charles, head of state of Canada, and 14 other realms as well. And it's really easy to see because you're like, if Canada is a state, and then you have all these United States, it's really easy to see how they've chopped up the little states. So each of their relatives, blood relatives, still have a little piece of a bank in each. So each of their offspring still continue their money. And then you'll see the two powerhouses still just playing. They're playing Risk with us. They're rolling the dice. Did you guys ever play Risk? My brothers loved playing when I was a kid. Yep. Rolling the dice and moving us around.
I wonder if Charles Carney hung out with Jimmy Savile. Do you remember him?
That was pretty crazy to see that our king, his brother's been like his brother, and then best friend,
Epstein and Savile.
Have the world's best.
And he changed his last name. There's nothing nefarious about changing your last name when you're a king.
The Epstein list. We're like, yeah.
I know, it's so dark.
I'm trying to explain, and last night to two beautiful souls. They're like, what? And if the whole world could see this for just 2 seconds, because we've been born in our whole lives to fear Russia and be scared of Russia. Russia is scary and it might nuke us, and we have to, Russia. And to think right now, Russia is suing Google. And you're like, Russia is everyone stop and think about it. Russia is suing Google. Google is an AI. Google's owned by China. So Russia is suing China Computer. And then what's really funny, if you're like, hey, Google, why are you being sued? And it's for misinformation of the war in Ukraine and the Epstein list. Russia is suing Google. If everyone please Google why, and then you can't see the videos. We're not allowed to see the videos that Russia is suing Google for. Come on, guys. And it's the misinformation in the war in Ukraine, yet we can send how many billions of dollars constantly to Ukraine? You know how many different things I have throughout Canada that is twinned with the Twin Sister City program through China? If that doesn't wake up the world, that's on one of my links on a thing that I've done with the Twin Sister City program that China has done for over 2,000 years. And it's there's over 2,900 twins in 197 countries. And that shows you all the smart cities. That shows you how they've been colonizing us, China.
Yeah.
Everyone's using Chinese phones right now, Chinese technology.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there some good comments there? I feel like Anthony's, I'm enjoying whatever Anthony's sending right now. I can feel it. I can't see anything he's sending.
So he was talking about the Rosenhan experiment, or the Thud experiment, was an experiment regarding the validity of psychiatric diagnosis. For the experiment, participants submitted themselves for evaluation at various psychiatric institutions and feigned hallucinations in order to be accepted, but acted normally from then onward. Each was diagnosed with a psychiatric disorder and given antipsychotic medication. The study was arranged by psychologist David Rosenhan, a Stanford University professor, and published by the journal Science in 1973. So, So the critique of psychiatric diagnosis, it broached the topic of wrongful involuntary commitment.
Yeah.
The experiment is said to have accelerated the movement to reform mental institutions and to deinstitutionalize as many mental patients as possible.
And there is no mental there. We're living in this matrix, in this simulation, all the while we're thinking we're going insane. The amount of stories of, especially any special meetings that I go to that they're anonymous. Let's just say I'm a recovered alcoholic, and a story after story is people that could never pay attention in school, that would sit and stare out the window, that we didn't want to comply or couldn't comply. And it all makes sense knowing that our school system is completely rigged by the Rothschilds. That it was designed, the Industrial Revolution, to take all of the kids and everyone out of the fields, out of the working, and put them, and to make us to comply Monday to Friday, and take the woman from the home, take the moms from the home, and make it the moms and women's ideas to leave their men. We talked the other day, it was beautiful. I enjoyed our conversation about women and how important they are to the house and to the home and to raise men. There's so many little lost boys out there, and it's because of all of the unhealed mother wounds that are out there. Like the fact that so Bill Gates' dad, the Planned Parenthood and all of that, and
Yep.
And making it women's idea to go and have babies without men and do all this without men, and we're so strong. Yeah, we are strong.
Mm-hmm.
You can't raise proper human beings without a beautiful mother and a beautiful father, and God in the home. It's breaking, and it's breaking and broken our system, the wheel of insanity, and creating the government's raising our kids Monday to Friday for us. And
this is also why I'm so anxious to get Anthony on the show. Because the guy is an absolute genius, and I just love smart people like you.
I know. I think smart. My whole life, since I can remember being at school, I'm like, who's the smartest in class?
I do. I just love smart. I have so many smart friends, and I just love them all because they all iron sharpens iron, and we empower each other. I just love that.
I know.
Anyway, he wrote the liberal arts theoretical pseudoscience of psychology cannot tell who is sane or insane. Yeah, I agree.
Well, instead of doing the same thing over and over again, so I think it's pretty easy to see who's insane. I'd rather be crazy every single day of the week because crazy is fun. Insane, that's the part. Going insane is painful. That's banging your head consistently doing the same thing is just I couldn't. And when I find myself in a cycle, I'm like, to get out of the insanity of playing that harmony, that wound or whatever it is over and over again until we're ready to open it up and look at it, right?
I think I would do great where you are.
Yes.
Yes.
I
think I would. I would just love it. I would be in heaven.
Yes. It is called Heaven's Gate. Hello. It's
yeah.
Too. That's a coincidence and a half.
No, you are smart, Anthony. You are a victim. That's what you are. Kindness can make us victims, like just being kind to the wrong person and getting stabbed or robbed. I mean, it happens all the time. So no, it's not. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with your intellect. It's just your heart. And that's why I always say, never listen to your heart or your brain. Listen to your gut. It never lies to you. Your heart will lie to you.
Your stomach. Your stomach is your gut.
Your stomach. Yeah, your gut. Your stomach.
Am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? Listen to this.
Yeah, like how would anyone know when you're crazy?
Listen to this.
Well, how would you know?
Look at when I was when they put me in the ward. When I was in there, it was pretty crazy to be in there, and when I'm trying to get out, and I tried to switch doctors even, and And the gentleman was like, "You're awfully confident," and that's it was really funny. And he was comparing me and talking to me about being a psychopath, and I literally was just sitting there smiling. I wasn't doing anything else, and I'm like, "Well, you're the one that's got me in here, psychopath boy," in my head. Like, I'm looking at him like, I'm watching and looking out the window, watching all of these other people identify as animals and men identifying as women, and I'm just sitting in here, and you guys are getting the thought police on me. And then he just looked at me like, and I'm like, if I identify as the governor of Canada, because I'd like to be, it's an unelected position. No one's voted for me. Hey, why can't I have it? Because I have video after video of people, men identifying as small children. I watched a video where a man got adopted by a family because they felt so happy for him to be able to express who he was. And I'm like, what? So I identify as the governor. It's unelected. So
I want to be the king of Canada.
There you go. Oh, be the king of Canada.
And I will totally squash the education system. I will go right after that. Get out.
That was my biggest. So to go after the education system's the easiest, because there's a beautiful book, I'll post it on saying Closing the Floodgates. And I've met Anne, and I've had a session with Anne, which was absolutely incredible. And her whole family story, she's got, I think, 6 books. And the education system, so Ben Levine, his predecessor, Kingsley, I believe his name is, wow. And it shows that was our education minister. And to see that, you're just like, wow, Epstein's list and the amount, you're just like, that's what you guys are teaching in our school system. Hence, it totally goes to show you our 911 system. So we have police, fire, ambulance, and our nurses going to work, paying the taxes for 2 people to stay home, paying also the politicians that they're charging, entrusting with their money, all the while sending their children to a school system that is changing their pronouns and changing and hyperfixing, and they all need safe places, really not teaching them anything anymore. My kids, my stories are pretty crazy. I could talk for a couple hours about what my kids' school was doing. And then, so these kids are going off to the school, into the workforce, that the nurses, paramedics, and police are now taking care of, and or anything like that. But yet they can get fired if they hurt someone's pronoun feeling. Thanks to, is it 2017? My ex-husband, I remember him coming home, and he was so upset because our taxes also paid for all of these services to take them off of the road, off of the field, to go do this training, that they can get fired if they hurt someone's pronoun now, their pronoun feeling. And our school system's teaching pronouns all day. You're like, what? This is, talk about, I love that whole thing with the dodo bird. Everyone's seen the videos of dodo birds, since I've seen them on David Suzuki forever, where this bird goes along and lays its eggs in everyone else's nests, and it hatches first, and it's 10 times bigger. And the 2 parents end up loving this bird, and that bird literally kicks the other eggs out. And that's what our school system's doing, is creating dodo birds, 110%. And so how can our nurses, our nurses, our paramedics, our police officers, and our fire department keep sending our children, their kids, and pay for this education system, to then they come out educated to do what? They can barely work at Starbucks, and no kid wants to work. And then our nurses, fire, and police can get fired if they hurt one of those kids' feelings that have just come out of college or whatever. And to know that there's Taylor Swift programs and college programs now, you're like, what are we sending our kids to college for? What? Yeah, thank you. If you want to go after the education system, I'll hail you king right now.
That's just one. I would go after the food too.
Yes,
and vitamins.
Yes,
because 2020, we had the most mineral depleted population in history, and that's by design.
Yeah.
And that's why we're preparing mankind with measured reason. The name of the show is all about this. It's all about preparation, because we're in a war. There's not a lot we can do without major repercussions. You can't really. They had a protest in Toronto there yesterday. Canada First, against the mass immigration. There was a lot of the Antifa government employees. That's what they are. Okay, they're government employees. They're paid to shut us down.
And
that's what they do.
That's what's crazy. If you can even see that, we pay them. They're also getting taxes taken off them at the same time. They don't even realize they're in hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul. Thank you. Thank you for everything you keep. Just, yes, Paul. Yeah.
But and we're asking, why are they spraying glyphosate in the forest? It's affecting the fish. It's poisoning the fish and the moose
Well,
and the
watch what
deer.
happens
Like, why would they do that? Well,
this summer.
glyphosate allowed the spike proteins access to the blood-brain barrier of animals, fish, mankind.
With all the
That's what it's doing.
towers, every water tower just
Yep.
completely
So
invested
it allows
5
the
towers.
toxins. That's what glyphosate is for. It's a part of the weapon. It's not to protect us from predators eating the farm food. Not at all. Not at all. It's a very well thought out, and it gives toxic and spike proteins access to the blood-brain barrier, allowing toxins a direct path to the interior horn. And that's where we need manganese, magnesium, and silica for our protection. And this is a measured reason. This is measured reason. It's a way. If you've already got your shots, it's there is a way. It's not hopeless.
Well, we are these incredible healing machines. That's the other thing, is that we can heal ourselves. What I found and did research on after the Vietnam War, and these men that had been exposed to all these different gases and poisons, they were just given months to live. Yet they went and did infrared saunas and did certain things to be able to sweat it out and do things. And we heal. We can heal. We are extraordinary. To think that, like, when you're a little kid and you scratch your knee wide open on your bike and your skin just magically heals, we can heal anywhere in our body all the time. And it's with intent. It's with love, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. But we're going to be the change.
We are.
We are becoming.
God has won. We won this. And
yes.
The more impatient that I keep getting, because I want the veil to lift, just because my family, the isolation and everything that I've experienced from every single person that I loved. And I joke all the time with Angel. I'm like, thanks for hiding me in your floorboards. Because nobody else would. Because it was sad when I came back from Ottawa that we are in 6 years now of World War III, and half the country knows and half the country doesn't. We're just in different costumes.
Yep.
We're just in different costumes, in our Halloween costumes each day now, and we just have more advanced technology.
And it's all about timing. It's timed out too, because we're at a time where we're evolving. Mm-hmm. We're awakening. And this is a spiritual thing. Yeah. And so they're using worldly mechanisms to try to stop us from evolving, stop us from becoming.
You and I talked the other day. This was beautiful. I love that you talked about the mother and the child involved, and then we are a fully developed sperm. We are, our brain and our nervous system going down. We are a fully developed sperm cell in Mother Earth, and we're these beautiful, incredible creatures. And then to know what you told me, it was really beautiful. If you want to say that again, because I love when you talk about it, how when mothers have either abortions or children's or miscarriages. Would you?
Yeah, I mean, it is very deep, isn't it?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's a spiritual war.
Yep. I'm gonna bring it right in, because I think it is so beautiful. I'm gonna get the guy himself to talk about it, because it's so. Let me see if I can share a page here. I am the producer and the host.
Woo!
Multitasking as I do.
This is right.
All right, so this is apparently 100% true, by the way. You can fact check it. You got to hear what this guy said. But I have to preface this. At the beginning, he said something which could be seen as quite controversial. But I'm going to put a poll in the caption to see where you guys stand on this subject anyway. But until you hear this.
Any woman who becomes pregnant, even if that woman miscarriage, even if that woman tragically makes the wrong choice and gets rid of the life within her, an abortion, or if the full term, cells are exchanged between the mother and the child, so that after either a miscarriage, tragically, sadly, an abortion, or birth, those cells will remain in your body, ladies, for the rest of your life. You have living cells of all your children in your body right now, even if you had a miscarriage. Scientists discovered that when a woman became a mother, they noticed certain clusters of cells from her body going to the ill area in her body and would be seeking to make her well, to fight off whether it was a disease, whether it was a sickness, whatever it was. And guess what cells those were? The cells of your children. See, maternity has its blessings. When those cells run to the defense of the mother, even if the child no longer is here on earth through a miscarriage or through an abortion, your child is fighting to save your life.
You know what's also so insane about the education system?
And it's so beautiful. Yeah.
As a woman, as a mother.
Yeah, and you know,
that's beautiful. Thank you, Paul, for doing that. That was amazing. Look at you, Mr. Techie. Multitasking
yeah,
like
yeah, I've starting to get used to this podcasting thing. And yeah,
Well,
it
again, my
is
friend-
very touching and beautiful, but I know it's true because my ex-wife had scoliosis, and when she got pregnant, it was healed. It was just the baby healed her. So I know it's true. I know, and I think the most beautiful part is that it's there ever, and it's always there, ready to save you if you come into harm's way or into danger. That those cells are there for eternity. So it's a beautiful way of knowing that your children are always with you, even if they pass. You know, a lot of people lost their children with the shots the last couple of years. And, you know, you have to know that they're still with you. They really are.
Yeah, they
And they're fighting for you. And they want you to win. You know, they don't want you to fail. They want you to win. And it's a beautiful thing about creation and our creator and becoming and seeing ourselves for what we really are. The divine within, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. Even if you chose a dark path in your life, you know, there's time. There's time to face that and look in the mirror and forgive that person in the mirror. You know, once you can do that, you can accomplish anything at that point and become yourself, you know, who you were intended to be, your divine purpose. I think that's what I'm doing. I think this is my divine purpose because I didn't seek it. I didn't try to become a podcaster. You know, it happened. It just happened, just like you. You just happened, you know, and it's like it was meant to be. You were meant to be here today.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because God's timing. Yeah, when we all just allow the natural and breathing and not be so forced all the time. We were talking about the 13 months. Like there's a month that's been taken from us in the leap year, that whole 4-year Luke thing and time thing. And when I love that the first clock is water clock, and it's in a temple with amen, that we all say amen to the first water clock, and to learn what I did and where time has been taken and stolen from us, and how it was created to make money for slaves. And we all just slow down and breathe and not be in to get to this place, to get to that place as fast as we can, to get in the bank line and yell and scream and honk and be in our cars, because we're not meant to be in our cars and out of our homes all day that we pay for, and to do what? To do jobs that everyone hates? For who?
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Absolutely. And you know, and there are 13 months. And I will put them right here.
Yes.
Oh, can't see them. So right now,
the great reset is our nervous systems. The great reset,
so
everyone resetting our own nervous systems. This is great reset. If you want to, everyone thinks it's this bad thing and whatever. And it is kind of funny when everyone keeps saying, oh, Klaus Schwab says you will own nothing and be happy. What's really funny is I've never been happier owning nothing. And I'm never, because you realize it's all fake and smoke and mirrors anyway. To own, be the richest guy in a castle all by yourself, yet you're all by yourself. Where's the love? Where's
I think it's I think it's easier in poverty and suffering to become who you were meant to be.
The
I
most
think it's
kindest
an easier path.
are the homeless people that I've come across through all of my
Hmm.
travels in the last 3 years and everything, and anyone I've talked to or interviewed. The meek shall inherit the earth. 100%. 100%. Yeah, and if anyone wants to go into my numbers, Hussein, Hussen, he's more dirtier than Freeland there. You'll
Mm.
see he's passing the immigration and everything, and
Hmm.
bringing immigrants faster than the homeless people are that were Canadian born here and paying into pensions and paying things are going onto the streets. Like, I have numbers and I have everything that I'd like to see anyone. I'd like to, if there is a court case that could handle me, or this whole Russia suing Google, I'm like, I'd like to see Russia's lawyer because I'd like to stand behind their team. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see these misinformation videos, and I want to see everything, all of these videos that Russia's suing Google for. Where's the lawyer? I've tried to find anything I can, and I can't get any info of who's representing or what court is in or anything like that yet. Yeah, I would like to see anyone take me on in a court, in a ring, anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll give you a go. I'll
And
give you a
thank you for coming, Cleo and Brenda and Robbie. Blessed Sunday, yes, indeed. Yeah, and that is very touching about the cells of the babies. I think that is such
beautiful.
a beautiful find, you know, a part of creation that most people don't know about.
Yes.
And you know, that's what the beauty of this show is, you know, finding
Yeah.
the truth, finding out these things that
And all
are
those
so.
moms and what build, like the that whole movement again, I really can't express enough. I'm wishing that men would stop contributing or giving their samples, and that is the most precious thing that men have, and to keep
Mhm.
it to themselves and to not reproduce, to know that I have a friend that works in IVF and doing that kind of thing, where there was two moms at a playground and they were just talking. They both did it to have babies on their own because they wanted to have their own kids. And
Hmm.
lo and behold, kids looked the same. And then they were like, "Well, I got inseminated. I got inseminated." And they realized their children were siblings on the playground playing together. And to realize that,
Mhm.
wow, there's up to 500 children that are all related to each other out there. Like, men really, we can't just let women go. Like, I'm all for women, but I'm for women. I'm not for feminists. I'm a woman, not a
Yep.
feminist.
Yep.
I love men, and I'm here to protect. I know that God is here, that I'm here to protect, because apparently men, according to Canadian and Alberta and a variety of different places, it's no longer called a mother. It's called a birthing person on birth
Yeah.
certificates and things. Apparently men are having babies, and I just know that I'm here to protect men and
They
to
are
raise.
manipulating people because they're saying, you know, trans men can breastfeed. So they're misleading because they're actually women, biological women breastfeeding their own child that identify as males. So they're manipulating everyone saying, yeah, men can breastfeed. Oh,
Paul, I've
I
actually
mean, it's
seen
so
videos,
sick.
and actual men are taking weird drugs to try to do it themselves, not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
people do it. And to think you're damaging that baby.
We're
What kind of
damaging our
chemicals and disgusting
society
things are you doing to that baby?
and
Because
to
you men
our
want to
public.
have,
And this is happening to our people, though. You know,
yeah,
they're being brainwashed.
yeah,
And the 13, for some reason, is a big problem for them. Like
yeah,
the turtle shell has 13,
yeah.
just like the calendars, 13 moons. They have 13 big shells in the middle and 28 days. They got 28 small shells on the edge. So it's absolutely, it's got to be important if they took the 13th floor out of
Are
apartment buildings.
men
There's
loving and
got to be power,
women
but
loving and
there
it's
must be
all in
some
there.
kind of power attached that they wanted to remove it. You know, what is the power behind 13 and 13 moons? And even the church is involved. Pope Gregory changed the calendar
Yeah, and
so it would be dysfunctional and hard to keep track of with different
let's not even
days.
say. She said there was something that you couldn't even say 13, and no, you're not even allowed 13 things in an apartment building. And yeah, I'm gonna dig into that one now. Thank you for that little rabbit hole.
Yes, that's what I do. It's hard to fit in a rabbit hole because I have gained weight since I was young. White Wolf, my brother, Yes, I missed our prayer. Oh no, your prayers didn't start yet.
Do you need to go, love? Do you need to get going?
No, 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 no. I join him when I can, and he does the praying. I just praying along. You know, when two or more are gathered, God is there with us, and that's what
Yeah.
that's a real big beautiful thing right there.
Hmm.
So there's if any of us, there's two of us here, and any of you in there, and White Wolf will be one for sure that has faith, and we pray together and thank God for everything, for each other, for our children, and for those cells, and for this information and beautiful, loving part of creation
Hmm.
that's being revealed to us. Uh, I think it's going to be the most beautiful time in history, even though it seems the darkest.
Yeah.
The lifting of the veil is also going to be liberating, and we are going to try to help, like the magnesium and manganese and the silica. If you got the shot, this will help you.
Hot baths,
W-
really hot
w-
baths to help pull the
It will
radiation.
help against the glyphosate as well that they're spraying.
Yeah.
We're in a war, so we have to think war. We have to think, okay, what do we need to do to counter attack without using violence, without using weapons? We can do it just by taking magnesium. We take away their power
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
empower
Better
each other.
prey upon your sleep to make sure your sleeps, our dreams, our imaginations all coming together, us as one unity under God, under just yes,
Hmm.
yeah. When
Yep.
everyone's sleeping well and everyone's producing their own melatonin and their own DMT, the Bible teaches us these incredible things that. The powerhouses that we are, that sixth sense that was hidden from us in school. They only taught us five, right? Isn't that a little bit of a coinky there?
Hmm.
So these beautiful, loving producing drugs, oxytocin, dopamine, you name it, right?
Hmm.
Get to produce
Yep.
when we're properly aligned with having the proper minerals in us. And to think, magnesium is responsible for 300 chemical reactions inside these beautiful Ferraris. It's
Hmm.
it's it's pretty obvious to see when you're in your 20s, your 30s, and your 40s, where everyone's medically going wrong just by taking away that one
Right.
important little. Yeah.
Yep. So, you said you worked for the police? Was it the police
I
or
worked
RCMP?
both.
RCMP, right?
They worked
Both?
side by side. It was the biggest drug, cocaine. I know where all the cocaine comes. I know a
All
lot.
right. Cool.
I know a lot, love.
God,
I know.
God made that plant. Thank you, God.
God did. God placed me, and I
I
when
can't
I did
afford that drug, but I've
when I
tried
got
it.
onto a certain little thing, it was really obvious to see that the RCMP didn't work for us, and they were not working for
Yeah.
us. And the
Yeah.
Royal Canadian Mounted Police is who took the Indigenous children by the thousands by cattle truck. And to know that what the world's greatest drug is our children.
So I
It
guess I'm
is.
saying, if I went up there to visit and got you a police officer outfit, and
Halloween
I say
costume.
I may have
A
drugs
Halloween
on
costume.
me,
Everyone's got a Halloween
I
costume
don't know.
every
I've
day.
I've I've never been frisked before. I just
No, I just did
I'm just
taps. I
playing,
did
of
I
course.
did the and to know that the kids that the people that do the taps, if anyone's watched like Sons of Anarchy or anything like that, and then you watch the how that worked and how who had
Mm,
who and you're like, wait a second here. And you see how they always just seem to know ahead, how the government always seems to know. And yeah,
yeah.
the kids in it's basically monkey jobs that we had. And yeah, it is the whistle that I can blow on everything here in Canada is yeah.
Yeah,
I know
and
why.
unfortunately, they silence people that can blow the whistle. I
That's
mean,
why I put
look
in.
at this right here. This is on in the program. Everyone in Venezuela, all the army,
Hmm.
they all got nosebleeds
Really.
when they went and got Maduro.
Hmm.
Yeah, right here. If you can see this, I'm not sure. This is in the budget. National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2026. One of the things is cognitive electromagnetic warfare. It's
Mm.
down the it's a budget line item. So this is what happened in Venezuela. They used probably direct energy weapons
Hmm.
or something like that to disarm everybody.
When I went to Kingston, it was just after Ottawa. I was like, holy smokes. So Kingston, right on the water and everything, in the Kingston Penitentiary, and I was like, wowzers. And I went with my good friend. Her daughter is in school there, and everyone was wearing masks. Like no matter where they were in the parks, no matter, it was just.
Hmm.
And then the amount of towers blew my mind. Every single building had the biggest G5 towers, and then all there was smart water everywhere. And I don't know if anyone's looked into smart water and know what fluoride does to the body, and how that decalcifies this beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. And then to go to the grocery store, this was just after the convoy. They had police officers outside the grocery store checking people's papers and vaccine things to go into the grocery store. And I don't know what it's like and has been like that. That was just right after the convoy. And to see how that town was doing, because all through Ontario through the last 3 years, I found it very different how each little nook and cranny throughout Ontario was treating and how their bubbles were going. Kingston scared me the most. Kingston was the creepiest, eeriest, of how the warfare with the towers and the water, towers and water, towers and water.
Yeah, when I was touring with my band, we did play Kingston once a year at least. But do you think people will be able to regain power over the government? You
Yes,
think
when they call
we,
911.
so you think I mean,
Well, I'd like to see everyone come up. I put so much love and so much everything when God speaks to me, and I was like, "Hey, kiddo, this is what we're doing." So, because everyone needs to ask themselves, well, if elections are rigged and we can't, and we only are allowed to vote for one minister, we only are allowed. We play musical chairs with 338 seats to just get one minister. That minister then picks 30 to 40 for his cabinet, because each province has their own ministers. Because Ontario's got 36 ministers, Quebec's got 25 ministers, BC's got 23, Alberta's got 27, PEI's got 10, Yukon's got 11. They all have different amounts, and you're like, well, how come you guys all have different amounts? And there's all those ministers, and then the one and only minister that we get, he picks our finance minister, and he picks those ministers, and he picks the governor, who picks the 150 people in our Senate we pay 1.3 billion to. And we that sounds weird. So when I went through elections, I can go show you it's all rigged. And so if it's so rigged, how do we rig it? How do each person do it? And it really is every person calling 911 and demanding real-time government spending. Calling like, this is treasonous. Can we get an investigation on the murder of rape? When are the RCMP going to investigate the children that all these unmarked graves? They're the ones that took them. They're also, we're totally fine with the officers being slaughtered. So when is there going to be an investigation that? What about the chemtrails? Like, I make jokes all the time, like we could have a full-on telethon, press 3 for this, press 4 for that, because our government is sinking, and there needs to be enough life rafts for everyone. So hey, wake up and demand investigations. Angel talked, and it was wonderful when she was like, well, a lot of people have gone personally to their local police detachments to do reports or make certain things, and they've been told, well, we're not allowed to investigate past this point. They're not allowed to. And when you look at Ford, or you look at a lot of any mayors and stuff, they're not allowed to fight the crown. They're not allowed to. And you look into treason, you're not allowed to go against the crown. The crown has rules that you're not allowed to do anything that may overthrow them, or you can get up to 25 years with no parole in prison. So you're like, that's weird.
Yep,
and
protecting themselves.
Yeah, so if the crown's making these courts and making this system where the red shoes, no matter how much red you seem to have on your shoes, the most red you can pay your court fines for as long as you like, it's not, you're like, well, where's the democracy? When are we going to stop this? So slowly but slowly, we're going to help the heroes, help the nurses, help the paramedics, help the fire department and the police that are working shift work that is meant to break their minds, bodies, and spirits carrying, and they're the ones that do multiple jobs. They don't just put their Halloween costume on and be a nurse. When they go home, they're moms. When they go home, they're PTA, and they're this and they're this and they're this, and they don't have time. And they're hoping that all of their taxes and they're being told the truth. And we all know who owns the media. And we can't even post on Facebook right now or make a comment or we hurt someone's pronoun feeling, we might get put in jail. Like, look what's happening in the UK right now.
Yep.
It's off the charts if making a comment on Facebook. Yet, we can get as much porn as we want, and that's just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm hoping and praying that everyone realizes they all have the power in their hand and to demand the app for real-time government spending. And then that's a whole other kettle of fish that I can talk for hours. I have plans in place.
But I mean, the RCMP knew. I mean, the RCMP, I don't know if it was the RCMP or the CSIS that reported that, a bunch of politicians were compromised with China. They knew that. They had the information. The arrest should have happened then and there. There should have been no stopping at that point.
I have
not just reporting it, but doing something about it. So they're dysfunctional. They're absolutely useless.
I'm just saying Ford here would have a horse head in his bed. We have a lieutenant. We have a lieutenant governor, agent that is Ford's boss that we don't vote for. There's 10 lieutenant governors governing each and every province we don't vote for and we pay. Like I have everyone's money. I have everyone's salaries of all of these people. I'm like, we didn't vote for a lieutenant governor to govern each province. I thought that our premiers were supposed to do this for us. And when I went into Brookfield, I have that link I've posted. You'll see how Brookfield even came to be. And you're like, it all started with Sir John A. Ronald MacDonald, and it's spawned into this thing called Brookfield now. I have money laundering for every cent that's going to, and being leaked to whoever's leaking it. I'm your kid. I'm your girl.
Yeah, I don't even think we could use the court system because they are appointing the judges.
That's what's kind of hurting me too, because I'm like, why would we go fight in the court? It's the same as Russia suing Google right now. It literally would just keep going, us all going. Yet all of us storming the court system is absolutely amazing, and not being afraid to get charged. Not because you're like, why are you guys charging us for this when you guys are doing and gaslighting us over there? I really had hoped when everything went down in Nova Scotia, how everyone couldn't go out, you weren't allowed to go into the forest, or you weren't allowed to go for walks, and your family, it was the same as COVID lockdowns, just to go for walks in Nova Scotia. I truly had wished that everyone had all gone at the same time to go, because there's like, your shoes could light on fire. Like, you're like, well, where's the information on the box that says my shoes aren't flammable so I can go walk in the woods? Like, are you kidding me? So for us to go as thousands, because it was a $25,000, this was the kicker. It was a $25,000 ticket if you went for a walk in the woods. And then it became $28,000 because there was a victim tax. You're like, what? So if the whole system of all of New Brunswick, if all of Nova Scotia went all at once and screwed up the court system, be like, what do you can't do that to us. We can go outside, we can go for a walk. That would be great if everyone got tickets, because they're literally picking off one person at a time to go fight in court by themselves. And you're like, no, let's fight us as a whole, because this is pretty crazy. Because there's the Jeopardy law, the if you've been charged for something, I went after that really wonderfully.
Double Jeopardy.
Yeah, so if I got charged for not having my seatbelt on yet, I could drive a motorcycle. You're like, don't tell me that's about my safety. Don't give me a ticket for not having my seatbelt on when I can drive a motorcycle. That's the craziest thing ever. So you're like, yeah, get a lawyer that gets me off my ticket, my charge, not get my points so I can still have my license. That's just ridiculous. You're like, so I got charged and I got off of it, yet you're going to go charge all those people and do all those? That's double jeopardy. Stop picking us off one at a time. Make it fair for all of us.
Yeah.
I agree. It's just silly that each person keeps getting these silly little tiny tickets when our government's allowed to launder, do, or whatever they like. Going after the billionaires, it's pretty crazy. They do buy, borrow, die. And Zuckerberg, I have Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, I have all of them, Elon Musk, that they literally will just charge a person $1 for their services and time. And it's sinister. It's absolutely the most sinister thing. And X does mark the spot where all our money is, thin air and space. Elon Musk did not invent anything. He didn't have to think in 1969 that we went to the moon and there was a direct phone call to White House, okay? And you're like, okay, that was in 1960.
Direct phone call. That's right.
Yeah, satellites don't make or create the internet.
A landline.
Percent of all of our internet and all of our everything comes from underwater sea cables. All comes from China,
Yeah.
and it's all underwater. Water is the key to everything.
And people bought it. You know,
Yep.
that really
Yep.
shows you
Yep.
that we are waking up.
Yeah. And so to think that Elon Musk is Canadian, I pinned Elon
Yeah.
Musk bad.
Yeah.
And to know that Elon Musk, you're like, okay, his first business, because he's got 3 citizenships, and so one of them's Canadian, and he married a woman here apparently in Peterborough. And you're like, okay, so where's your taxes, Elon? Because I tried to find them and I couldn't find your taxes, buddy, here in Canada, because we'd all be living like kings if you're the world's richest dude. So you avoided military service and used your mom's heritage to be able to become a Canadian citizen here. Meanwhile, she just happened to give birth to you in Africa. Oh, okay, buddy. So your first business here in Canada, you co-found. You didn't invent bank accounts and you didn't invent emails. You were just a wise guy that had the business sense to sign a contract, and you have everyone's bank accounts and emails, and that's your ground zero rock bottom business. And you're like, and then Tesla, you're like, that's just the name after the car. You just named your car after the dead guy that invented free energy. Electric cars have been around since the 1800s. So you didn't invent electric cars, and you didn't invent PayPal. And then what's going on with the satellites there? That's weird. So yeah, I've nailed Elon Musk and his taxes here in Canada pretty hard. And so X marks the spot where everyone's money is. It's really easy. Our space programs, and I've got undone everyone's taxes.
And that wasn't too hard, eh?
No, did everyone's taxes for you. And taxation is theft, people.
Well, I know you're doing a lot of work, and I think you should probably come back. You think you'd be willing to come back?
I'm willing to come back every day till everyone calls 911. Because I would like to know what a better idea is. If you put me in a corner and you put me in a corner long enough, I will come back fighting like any animal. And so I feel cornered. You cornered me, and I'm like, how else are we going to get out of this? How else is Canada going to get out of this? Yeah. What's our options? That we do it peacefully, kindly? Because there's no war. We all have to realize that hitting and hurting and killing isn't doing anything. It's just fueling the beast and making it us live on fear and panic. So if we all use our voice, we all speak authentically with ourselves, and this system 911 is like, it pays. That's what's crazy. Is it pays the nurses, it pays the paramedics, it gives them their pay, yet taking their pay. You're like, wait a second, this 911 service is crazy. We need to test this service. We need to make sure it's working and running for our heroes. These heroes are mandatorily, how many of them had to take shots and everything to keep their jobs? Or they look how the nurses that lost their jobs. You don't fire nurses in the biggest, hugest pandemic, deadliest pandemic in the world and fire them. And you're like, wait a second, they pay into the same system that pays them. They get taken the taxes off of them that pays them, the 911 system. They get paid by 911 and they work for 911. Come on, guys. So if democracy's rigged, how are we going to do it? How do we do it besides pressing SOS? SOS. And we wake them up. We start the investigations, and each person is upset enough to ask and say something. Press 1 for the chemtrails, press 2 for press 3 for the money laundering.
Third biggest killer is medical error. So, and that's not nurses' fault, but medical error. There's too much experimenting going on when there's natural remedies being ignored and even suppressed. That I'd like to see an end of. I'd like to see
one of the biggest
healing coming back.
Yeah. The biggest mind warped for myself, because going to school in kindergarten, I remember my arm hurting and having to get vaccine and being told, like, you get this shot and then you can go into a pit of people that have smallpox. You will survive, and you're like, okay. And to know that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was the biggest lie there ever was.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the biggest lie. That vaccine, I was like, to that really, my brain, I'm like, what? That we can all survive. We have a 99% chance of surviving absolutely everything. And those movies that we ever saw of killing, you're like, wait a second, and using, yeah, I thought vaccines were the greatest invention in the history of all of mankind. Like, I think we all did and all do.
Yep.
That were like, vaccines,
Yep.
you need
We were
it.
all fooled.
Because that's
We're all
warfare,
fooled.
the mental torture and the psyop.
Yep. Absolutely. And you know, like I had a friend, a Caucasian friend, who told me he got a vasectomy, but it didn't work. And the side effect is now his kids are black.
Yeah, look at that. Vaccines. Those vaccines, vasectomies and vaccines, eh?
So that's my joke for this podcast.
I'm like, we all need humor. Always go for the joke. I say,
we do. I try to do it at
for the
least
joke.
once per show.
I'm
And
uncomfortable. Go for the joke.
it's important. It's important to giggle, to laugh a little, because we do talk about very serious things that are very emotionally evoking. You know, it's hard to deal with, but we did cover a lot of good things, and we're going to cover more the next time you come on.
Well,
So I want
Angel,
to.
her order, like
She's
if
coming
everyone,
on too this week,
we
probably.
all do our part. If each,
Yep.
because each one of us, God gave us our snowflake to all come together to make this big snowman, this abominable
Mhm.
snowman. Each of our little snowflakes coming together, and we all realize that we're all a little piece, and we all do our little parts, and we keep going at this beast. We have one. We have one. I wish, and I keep praying, because the day that I saw her and the power that she has and
Mhm.
the heart that she has and everything that she has, this order and this is just if everyone, we can all pray for that and
Yep.
demand. Yeah.
Mhm.
She comes on, and
Well-
everyone can demand for this to happen too, using your voice and making the system work for us would be great.
Here's a short video.
And have you seen any other vaccine that was put out for the public that skipped the animal test?
Never before,
Skipped,
especially for children.
and what I've read, they actually started the animal test, and because the animals were dying, they stopped the test.
I thought it was
Folks,
8
I think
mice.
that's important to understand there, that what we're talking about is the American people are now the guinea pigs. This is a test program that's going on. They didn't do the human testing, and they stopped the animal test because the animals were dying. And then they turned it out for the public. And we are now looking at businesses that want to mandate that this experimental vaccine be given to people as a condition of their employment. And yet we have this death count that continues to rise and be totally ignored.
To also the statistics that like diabetes went up 300%, myocarditis, like all of these diseases. And I talk with a good friend all the time. We're like, when I was a child, no one even had cancer. No one had, it was the rarest thing to ever even heard that only men seem to ever get heart attacks. Like no one had any physical problems when I was a child. And to see that everything is over 300 to 400% on the rise since these injections that were an experiment on eight mice.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I'm trying to be incremental. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to overwhelm the listeners, but I really trust my faith that the right people will hear the right message at the right time, and they will distribute that information outside, and we almost have to be clandestine with our awakening, because they're using AI and everything to monitor us, and our privacy is being infringed upon.
Yes.
But I am going to have you back, and I'm going to have Angel on as well, and I'm going to have you both on again.
So happy.
Because I think it's more fun when all three of us are on here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
her spirit and her everything, my ability to be able to talk about God, because I wasn't really allowed to talk about God. And when I woke up and had my awakening, when I mentioned God to my children and my ex-husband, like it would like get away. And I was like, no, God's real. God, there's nothing more real and beautiful. And to be around Angel, and can you believe her name? Like, she is one. And to be
She
able to
is.
talk, to be
And
able to
she
talk,
literally she glows right up from her
she
eyeballs.
does.
Like
And when she
she's
gets
like
going, there's not my heart. She
yeah,
vibrates in a way that just, she's a
she's
leader.
yeah, she's like a divine feminine, no doubt.
She is beyond 9 babies too, that girl. Like,
Yeah.
she is a
Yeah.
powerhouse and and if we could do a prayer for her, because this woman is literally keeping me off of being a homeless person right now. I literally actually
Yeah.
would be one of the crazy people that you'd see on the street with a piece of cardboard being like,
Yep.
whatever sign. I think that I can make that day to
Yes.
panhandle. So
I would love to close with prayer, and I want to
prayer,
thank you
this
for
woman,
coming here and spilling out your
I
soul and sharing your information with us. Thank you, Creator, for all
thank
the
you.
ears that listen and all the hearts that beat and join us and loving you and preparing for our awakening and becoming our divine selves that we're meant to be and fulfilling our purpose, bringing us closer to you and closer to each other and seeing that we're really not separated at all, that we're all connected through you and in your love, Miigwech. Thank you all for joining us today. Cleo, Robbie,
Oh, there's people listening.
Kay, White
People.
Wolf, Brenda, Anthony. I love you guys. I love you
Hey,
all.
could there ever be
And
like a full chat like the Brady Bunch with the
Amanda
Anthony
Young.
and some? That would be
Yes.
amazing. I'd love to
Yes.
do a Brady Bunch call one day.
After we're done, you're gonna have to go back to the podcast on my channel and respond to everybody.
Oh my gosh, there's
But
people.
yes, click on her link. I tagged her on this video as I do with every show,
Okay.
and I thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all so much, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Truth Table.
Love you.